So, I pulled a couple of frames out of one of my hives on Monday because they had become a little bit honey bound, and it's almost to the time of year where they're not going to make any more honey. So I didn't want to put on a whole new super. So I just took a couple of frames out. I'm going to spin them and give them back to wet frames so that they can refill them. That's my big dog. His name's Trip. Hold on a minute. Trip. So I thought I'd let you join my journey of spinning out these 2 frames. I know there's 1 bee in here. I do pretty good about getting the bees off the honey frames before I bring them in my house, but I know I missed one. So we'll see how that goes. So I have my knife and my decapping tool so I can decapitate my honey frames. Anyway, bad humor. Ooh, it smells good though. It's interesting that these frames, this one in particular, is not really built out past the wood. So it's going to make it hard to use the capping knife because usually you cut it along the wood and it's not past the wood, so it makes it tough. Anyway. Interesting. There is I think, if I had to guess, and if I asked everybody, they'd probably tell me that was a wax moth larva. But that's why you're not supposed to leave these for very long once you pull them out of the hive, because any larva that's around will hatch and mess it up. So you just kind of go down and you cut the caps off, kind of like that. And whatever you can't get the cap off of with the knife, then you take the other thing and you break through the caps. Now, I've only been beekeeping since July of this year, so I've only done this a couple of times. Not great at it. This is my disclaimer. This channel is only for entertainment purposes. Don't do what I do. So you're kind of trying to just rake the caps off a little bit with this. I try not to go too crazy with it because I don't want to ruin the whole comb. I guess I don't know if it really matters or not, but that's just me. This one I might as well just There's a lot of mess for just a little bit of honey, honestly. in case you guys don't know this, 1 drop of honey can stick up your whole house. I don't know how it happens, but you drop 1 drop of honey and next thing you know, the pole to your ceiling light is sticky. I don't know. Last time I did this, I was all done, everything was cleaned up. I went and sat in my recliner. I reached down to pull the handle and I stuck to it. I don't even know how that happened. But there's that. So all the caps are broken. Trying to keep everything kind of in the box so it doesn't, like I said, get sticky everywhere. So then I've got a 2-frame extractor with a crank. So it's got a little basket in here that holds your frames. So I'm going to go ahead and crank the basket around and put the frame in. And then I'm going to pull out this one. I just needed to store this somewhere. So anyway, here we go. And you have to, if you have a 2-frame extractor, you have to have 2 frames in there because otherwise it's uneven and it won't spin out right. So that's why I have to take an even amount of frames if I decide I'm going to take some. I can't just take a frame. I mainly decided to do beekeeping because I wanted to learn something new. I get bored and I need to learn new things. So this kind of struck my fancy and it is not disappointed. There is so much to learn about doing this and it's really fun. It's been challenging. So when something goes wrong, there's not one sure answer about how to fix it. You have options. So then you have to try to weigh out your options and decide what you think is the best way to solve whatever crisis you're going through or whatever problem you're having. And so I found that really satisfying for myself. It gives me always has a challenge. There's always a challenge. Every time I go in the hives, there's something that's new, different, wondering what I should do. Okay, one of my hives, I didn't see eggs. Now it was dark, getting dark. It was hard to see in the hive. I did not see the queen, but all the bees were coming home. So it was a lot of population in there. And it was starting to cool off. And so I needed to shut it up. But if it's queenless indeed, then what? Do I put it back with the other ones that I had split it from? I think I saw a queen cup. Is it going to turn into a queen cell and they're going to requeen themselves? I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out when I look back in on it. Monday coming up, I'll go back in and give it a better look, and hopefully earlier in the day so I can see what's going on. I'm going to rinse my hands and then put the cover on this. Okay. All right. And then we spin. I'm not a lefty. Oh, drag it. Okay. And then you open it up. Look and see how you did. If all the little, you can see all the little cells are empty. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But there's comb, there's wax, but all the honey is out of it. Look how precise those little combs are. It's so amazing to me. Isn't that wonderful? Bees are amazing. Anyway, okay. So then you take and you turn this frame other side out, because it only spins one side. Crazy but true. So then we're going to take this one and that also is empty. So we're going to turn that one around. Okay. And put the cover on. Oops. Okay, here we go. I only have 3 hives. This is kind of fun with only 3 hives. If I ever get up to like 6 or 10, I don't think this will be as much fun as it is today. So I'll probably get an electric one. But okay, let's check them. And they are super light. Once they're empty, they basically have no weight to them anymore. I'm going to put these back in here real quick. Here we go. And what I plan on doing is taking those and putting them right back in the hive. I have a couple of empty, like just foundation frames in there to hold the space. But I'll slide those back in tomorrow so the bees can just go refill it instead of having to make wax comb again. They can just start to clean this up and fill it. It'll make it easier on them. I just wanted to relieve, they're putting a lot of nectar and stuff in the bottom because it's a split. They only have like 4 frames in there that they can lay eggs and stuff. And instead of doing that on those 4 frames, they're actually starting to put nectar and stuff down there. And they're not really drawing out the comb too much. So anyway, I took these out, so hopefully they'll put more food upstairs in because it was full. So they'll have some room up there, and maybe they can clean up some of the downstairs so that she can lay more eggs. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully this wasn't the worst idea I've ever had. So then there's a little trap door on the bottom of this extractor. And I've got a bucket and a strainer. So we're going to strain the honey into the bucket and then we can put it in jars. But I think I forgot my strainer. Hold on. Okay, so we need to put a cover on this. We're going to move this onto a chair. The strainer fits right over the top of the bucket. And then we open the trap door. Which there's not very much in here, so not very much at all, really. And there it comes. If I accidentally drop this and pour honey all over my floor, I'll let you watch that. Like that. Oops, almost. Not quite. Oh, come on. Ugh. This is not as easy as I'm making it look. So if it looks hard, it's worse than that. It does not help that my donkey tipped this off of a table outside and dented it. Oops. Was it gonna sit there or not? There it goes. Okay. Ridiculous. Trying to shut the trap. I think I'm going to have to pour the rest out the top. There isn't very much in there. Maybe about half a cup. Anyway, so get dizzy. It goes into the bucket like that. It strains down through the strainer into the bottom bucket. And then I'll put this bucket up onto the top and strain it into a jar. Then I'll strain that into a jar or smaller jars for use. Anyway. Okay, so that is me extracting honey. Like I said, it's for entertainment purposes only. Not so much educational. Anyway, that's it.